If you fight on the golf course, then you don't deserve to be there. Even if someone takes a swing at you, it's not okay to swing back. That won't resolve the situation. Two wrongs never make a right. Ask yourself what the greats of the game would do if confronted with such childish behavior. You think Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Bobby Jones, or Ernie Els would sink to the level of someone who resorts to physical violence? I mean, I can definitely think of a few who might, but I don't want to call them out since I'm sure they don't want that reputation, nor is there any proof that they would throw hands. If you want to engage in that type of activity, then sign up for boxing, MMA, or even hockey. Golf is not that game. Although those physical sports have respect for each other, golf is a different kind of respect. Even the toughest hockey players or vicious MMA fighters would never start a fight at their grandmother's house. Why? Out of respect. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Golf is like going to your grandmother's house, but with a little bit more foul language. If you wouldn't do it at your grandmother's house, then don't do it on a golf course. And that goes double if you're looking to pick a fight. It's easy to lay blame on external factors. The most recent one I heard is that there's more fighting because of overcrowding by the golf course, which slows rounds and sparks tempers. While I believe that certain public courses are guilty of selling too many tee times, some as close together as 6 minutes, it's still not an excuse to get in a physical altercation. I assure you the person you're fighting isn't the greedy business executive who decided to squeeze in more tee times. So what if your round takes 5.5 hours? You got somewhere better to be on a beautiful golf course with your buddies enjoying a beverage with other like-minded people who are also trying to enjoy the day? Of course, if it's slow due to ignorance, that's a different story. And if you're hell-bent on playing fast, ask before booking what their tee time increments are, or book the 6:15 a.m. tee time and be the first one out there. Play as fast as you like. But if you're not willing to do that, you have no reason to get upset when a round slows down in the middle of a busy day. Another reason they say fights are on the rise is the presence of social media. A male ego can be hard to reason with when it's threatened, and the thought of going viral for not fighting back is worse than any injury. However, if your main concern is what strangers think about you on social media, then your ego is already suspect. There's something to be said about taking the high road, and anyone who disagrees just proves their immaturity and lack of problem-solving skills. Again, you're on the golf course. This isn't some dive biker bar or western honky-tonk. Golfers are respectful and rational beings, so if you can't keep your temper in check, go join a fight club. A valid reason for the rise in fighting is that younger people are being drawn to the game more and haven't been taught about the history and integrity of the game. They like to reference all the rich elitist white men who were involved decades and centuries ago, but if you think that gives you the right to trample on the traditions that were upheld by respectful individuals, then you are part of the problem. We've seen many fights between old and new generations. We can sit here and dissect each video to try and lay blame like we're Judge Judy, or we can classify both offending parties as guilty of disrespecting the nature of the game. If you're a young person who likes to play music while you golf and an old cranky person asks you to turn it down or off, then instead of fighting and saying some BS like, it's my right to play music, just turn it down and then turn it back up when the old person is out of earshot, which shouldn't be too far. If you're a young person out there trying to bait older people into embarrassing themselves for likes and views, then shame on you. As Joey Swole says, you need to do better. Mind your own business. But the same goes if you're an older person and a young person asks you to speed up the play. Even if you're on pace, just let them play through. If they're disrespecting the course, then call a marshal. Don't try to talk down to them. If they're respectful young people, they will appreciate your help. If they're not, then it's the marshal's or golf professional's duty. If the marshal and the golf course are willing to let young people trample your course, then find another course that maintains respect for the game, or start an online group/petition to gather other like-minded people and encourage the course to return to enforcing golf etiquette. If you're a marshal who loses his cool, then you're in the wrong line of work, my friend. I don't care how ignorant a golfer is. As a middle-aged golfer, I've seen some pretty radical behavior from all ages, but mainly in the last 10 years, which is again due in large part to social media making it accessible. While I'm sure fighting existed all throughout golf's history, I can't imagine it happening as much as it does now. But there's no way to prove that. There are always so many solutions to a problem on a golf course. Fighting or trying to hurt someone is never one of them. Just ask yourself, what would Arnie do? And the right answer should come to you pretty quickly. Thanks for watching. I'm Clint McCormick, resident golf professional here at golfspan.com.